Welcome back. All right, in the world of sports, this has been a really tough season for New York City's basketball team, the New York Knicks. They lost their star player, Carmelo Anthony, to a knee injury. And right now, the team's got one of the very worst records in the league this year. Well, this weekend, they suffered yet another huge loss as former Knick and legendary baller Anthony Mason passed away. Known for his buzzworthy haircuts, Mason played with other greats like Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley at a time when nobody dared to mess with that team. He was the personification of heart, and that 48-year-old heart gave out on Saturday morning. Here to talk about his legacy on and off the court is All Sports Everything founder Shana Stevenson. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
It was an unexpected and tragic loss. Talk to me about his legacy.
Anthony Mason was one of those players who, regardless of how many minutes he played, you knew that he would give his all. He was the heart and soul of that 90s Knicks team that, you know, really had their run, their championship run to the 94 finals. Unfortunately, they fell short. But he was such an instrumental piece to that puzzle. Just his tenacity, his toughness, stalwart on the court. And New Yorkers really identified with that. He really kind of reflected just the work ethic that defines so many of us. And as a native New Yorker himself, you know, that was just who he was.
What does he mean beyond New York? I mean, the blue and orange, you know, Jersey fans over here are definitely mourning his loss and mourning a really less than stellar season as well,
right.
Which we mentioned. But in terms of, you know, other peers in the NBA and other teammates?
I think that outside of New York, I mean, he was a tough competitor and one that anyone he competed against just respected. Every time they went to battle with him, whether it was Akeem Olajuwon in the Houston Rockets or Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in those unforgettable Bulls-Knicks rivalry games during the 90s, he was just someone that his peers had the utmost respect for and really look forward to playing.
A lot of folks will say that basketball has changed. We went from it really being a team sport where everybody was interdependent to really being a sport where we have stars now. You have the Kobe
right.
Bryant, you have, but those pairings, those groupings,
right.
like in the, you know, the Boston Celtics, you
right.
know, the Chicago Bulls, the New York Knicks, that time was a glory time in a way for basketball. So is he remembered by his peers in the industry because of that?
Absolutely. I think, you know, when he played for the Knicks, Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, Xavier McDaniel, and Patrick Ewing were really the most formidable front court during that time, and they represented just toughness. Whenever anyone came into the Garden, you knew that if you were to face the New York Knicks, you were going to have a hard time out on that court. They didn't make anything easy.
Well, you, as you said, have been a diehard Knicks fan.
Right.
You know, do you have any specific memories that stuck out to you that just basically say, you know, this is the Mason moment that I most remember?
Not one specific moment, but I think that the thing that sticks out to me most about his career was in 1994 when the Knicks went on to the NBA championship, 7-game series against the Rockets, and him battling Hakeem Olajuwon. That was really one of the most defining moments in his career.
Well, they could definitely use some better scoring and defense this year. What's happening with the Knicks this year? Are they going to be able to repair some of this
No,
damage?
I think at this moment we're just all waiting for the season to end, quite frankly. Like you said in the opener, the Knicks have one of the worst records in the league, and they're really positioned to get the first pick in the draft, and that's something that all Knicks fans are looking forward to. They recently won their last 2 games, which is great, but unfortunately, that won't help us.
Too little, too late
exactly.
for now.
So we're just hoping that you know, we can get that first pick.
Hope for a better season next year. Shana, that's all we have time for right now on a Rise News Weekend. Thanks for remembering Anthony Mason with us today.
No problem.